Hey everybody, welcome to Ringside Review.
Oh, man.
If you're watching this on YouTube, you've missed a good 20 minutes of the show. Sorry about that. My bad, people. Anyway, moving on. John Cena has officially challenged The Undertaker.
Undertaker?
The worst kept secret in pro wrestling history for a year now, other than Brock Lesnar is going to be facing Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Is that John Cena will be facing The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Well, we don't know that yet. He's just calling him out.
We've known this for like 2 years now that it's going to be Cena and Taker.
God. Now, my question to you, Mike, is this going to be the Dead Man or is this going to be American Badass?
A lot of people are wanting it to be American Badass. He's kind of hinted toward that. I want this to be neither. I want Cena to find another opponent, possibly on another show.
That's what I said.
Somewhere
because I don't want to see Undertaker wrestle anymore. I don't.
We don't need to see this.
We don't need to see him wrestle anymore. He's too
old. If this
old.
match happened like 10 years ago, okay, yeah, I'd be on board. 2008, 2008 Undertaker versus 2008 John Cena. That would have been an awesome match. No, it's too little, too late,
too old.
There's speculation that it's going to be a career versus career. And
what?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, but what career?
Whose career? Cena's or Taker?
Yeah, one's a part-timer and the other one only shows up one time a year.
Yeah.
What a slap in the face. Slap nuts. Anyway, any other news?
Okay, well, fine, we'll move on. I have a question for you. You watched Fastlane. We're going to recap
Yeah,
Fastlane.
I did watch Fastlane, unfortunately.
We're gonna recap Fastlane here in a little bit. So now we know it's a done deal. It's unless they Vince, you never know. He likes to change things up.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Got a great idea.
I just deleted my notes on accident. I can get them back though. After we know it's going to be supposedly Shinsuke versus Styles at WrestleMania, what's going on with the rest of the roster? What direction is SmackDown going? What match will Shane have? What are Zayn and Owens going to do? Are they going to still be against each other on the same side? What are they going to do with Ziggler? It's a big question. What are they going to do with Corbin? What's going to happen with who was the other one in that match? Ziggler, Cena, Ziggler, Corbin, Zayn, Owens, and so
that's it.
Basically, we want to know, and we'll.
There's a lot of matches
will they
this
continue
year
with Randy Orton and Bobby Roode? I mean, what's going to go on?
Well, there's a lot of matches that look like they're going to be fatal. What do you call it? Triple threat matches, or fatal four ways, or something. There's always stipulation. That looks like that's what's going to be this year's theme for WrestleMania.
You know, I was telling John today. I said, you know how we usually get about 8 matches, and they're all about 15 minutes each. Mm-hmm. I'd rather have like 12 matches that are all like 5 minutes each. You know, something like 4 to 5 minutes each.
Yeah.
And that's the way WrestleManias used to be.
They used to be like that.
They used to have like 12 to 14 matches, but they'd all be short matches.
Yeah.
I'd rather have that, honestly, than these long matches. And then everybody else gets left off the card, or they're in the Andre Battle Royal.
That's what's going to happen. They're going to be left in the Andre Battle Royal.
I'm at this point with Ziggler. I kind of want just him. I know he just re-signed a contract.
Yeah, he did.
And now he's going to be there for a while. I'm at the point now with Ziggler. I kind of wish he'd either just do something big and have a big match, or just go away. Because I'm really sick of this middle of the road Ziggler. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
You don't deserve me, Ziggler.
Yeah, I'm not into this whole character he's doing now.
It's boring, man. It's just mundane as hell.
Well, I mean, for a while there it was okay, but
but then let's keep going with this. You have something going. No, he does. He has nowhere going. That's why he's not in WrestleMania right now.
Who are you trying to be there?
Trying to be Vince McMahon, like talking to Dolph Ziggler in the backstage. Okay, keep going. You know you're very angry. This world doesn't deserve you, and keep going with that. That's a good one. Yeah.
I don't know. I'd rather just have nothing than that.
Nothing. I agree with you.
All right, so getting away from WWE just for a moment, Kenny Omega popped up on Ring of Honor television.
Oh, yeah, he did.
In a segment involving Cody Rhodes, where he popped out of a bear suit. And as soon as I saw that, all I could think was, I bet Kenny Omega really loved being in a bear suit. I bet he just loved that so much.
When I first saw it, I was like, Dean Ambrose already did this. So I was like, Kenny, I love you, man. I love, it's just, this is already repetitive redone. So
Yeah. So any thoughts about this? Because I mean, you're the Kenny Omega guy. I really don't.
I like it, but it's just that, okay, we're getting two factions. Or he's not even in the Bullet Club anymore. So it's.
So this doesn't mean anything.
No, not as much. Well, it's like a Dragon Ball Z episode you watch on Cartoon Network. Okay, here's the storyline. It's going to keep going.
I change the channel? Is that what you're trying to say?
Pretty much. I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you. You're going to go down. No, you're going to go down. On the next episode of Dragon Ball Z, I said I was going to go against you. So am I. Soon, I'm going to super up on the next Dragon Ball Z. And that's how this is going with this storyline between Cody and Kenny. Just fight, get it over with, and let's move on to a championship bout.
They had to build it up in their own way.
But they've been doing this for almost a year and a half.
But not with them together. Come on. Don't be silly.
No, I'm not being silly. I'm not being silly. I'm being honest.
You're being
silly. Doing it live.
Hey, let's talk about Fastlane. Let's recap Fastlane.
Do we have to? Okay.
I didn't think Fastlane was a terrible show.
It wasn't a good show either.
I'm trying to remember I know I missed some of it.
Yeah. Well, opening bout was Shinsuke Nakamura versus Rusev. Everybody was marking out to Rusev. Rusev Day.
I'm assuming he was more over than
He was actually more than Shinsuke.
More than Shinsuke.
But winner, of course, Shinsuke, so. Next, Randy Orton versus United States champion Bobby Roode. And in a stunning upset with an RKO out of nowhere, Randy Orton wins. So now he's a Grand Slam champion. He's got them all.
What do you think about that?
I could really care less about Randy Orton. It's the very end of that match.
He's like John Cena, but without a little of the charisma.
Yes. It's just with that end of the match, the finish of the match, it looked like they just did not care. And then
what was the finish of the match?
RKO from the top, or like Bobby Roode was going to jump up. I'd do like an elbow off the top rope, but it was very slow. Very like, okay, let's do this over. And RKO out of nowhere. And it's just like, no, that was so telegraphed. You knew it was going to happen.
And Jinder popped up at the end.
Jinder Mahal pops up. He jumps Randy Orton. And then the former champion, Bobby Roode does a glorious DDT to Jinder Mahal to save Orton. And then he does a glorious DDT to the new champion, Orton. Which means that most likely this is going to end in a triple threat match for the United States title.
But we're having a triple threat match for the Intercontinental title.
Yes, we are. Next, we have Naomi.
Two Intercontinental Championship matches. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, two triple threat matches. Okay.
Yep. Next, we have Naomi and Becky Lynch versus.
What's her name? Say her name again.
Not Naomi. Naomi and Becky Lynch versus Natalya and Camilla. And the bad part was.
Who?
Camilla.
Who's Camilla?
I can't even talk right now.
Oh, Camilla.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Carmella. That's who you're trying to say.
Yeah, I know. Carmella. And Carmella. Natalya and Carmella win. It was over. It was not even that good. This was like a glorified SmackDown
I read somewhere
episode.
Carmella has only had like one match since she won the Money in the Bank.
Yeah. I read that too.
Like she's only
Carmella, they need to do something with her and that Money in the Bank.
I guess they're afraid she's going to get hurt. They don't want her to get hurt. They want her to cash in that Money in the Bank.
What happens if she cashes it in at WrestleMania and wins it?
No one will care.
No one will care by that time, right? Okay, next we have the New Day versus the Usos again for the Tag Team Championship.
Yes, and this got interesting.
This did get interesting. Halfway through the match, the Bludgeon Brothers show up.
Yes.
And they lay waste to both the Usos and the New Day. And it ends as a no contest. So, next we have, let's see, most likely, like I said, there's probably going to be a triple threat championship match for the Tag Team Championship at SmackDown against those three teams.
Yep.
So far, I've seen three triple threat championship matches for
Will
titles.
Will Camilla be a part of that?
Huh?
Will Camilla be a part
Camilla
of that?
Probably, not Carmella. She's going to...
not Carmella.
Not Carmella, yeah.
Yep.
International, Jesse, what I say? Intercontinental, United States, and SmackDown Tag Team. Ugh. Yeah, okay. Wow, I was really angry. Next, we had Ruby Riott versus Charlotte Flair, Women's SmackDown Championship. Charlotte Flair wins. It was pretty much a squash match. It wasn't that good of a match.
I saw it. It was an okay match. It wasn't that bad. It was...
wasn't that good either. Then Asuka shows up. at Fastlane, and all she does is she points at Charlotte and points to WrestleMania and says, "I want
pointing
you."
at the sign. That was the only note I made from Fastlane was stop pointing to the freaking sign. Stop it.
So it will be the Empress of Tomorrow versus the Queen at WrestleMania for the SmackDown Women's Championship, which we're all happy for. Yeah. Next was the main event, 6-pack challenge for the Heavyweight Championship for the SmackDown title. Dolph Ziggler, Baron Corbin, John Cena, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and the WWE SmackDown Champion AJ Styles. Lots of high spots, lots of close counts, but AJ Styles retains the title, and it will be AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura at WrestleMania.
This wasn't a bad match.
Wasn't a bad match.
You could just tell what was going to happen.
Oh, yeah. It's just It's
very predictable. I'm kind of glad. But Cena made me a little nervous when he came out and encouraged AJ Styles to use his rematch clause at WrestleMania. I honestly thought, are they building this toward a triple threat? Oh, I don't want to see this. There's already enough triple threats on the card.
There's enough of them already. You want to go through Raw quickly?
Before we go through Raw, there's some other bits of news I want to get to because there was an announcement, I believe it was made today. CM Punk is going to be wrestling for the UFC in Chicago.
Yes, he will.
Not against Joe Rogan, unfortunately, although Joe Rogan has gone on record by saying he could take CM Punk.
And I think he can.
And UFC. Do you agree with him?
I agree. And you know me, I am the diehard CM Punk fan. I am, but dude, just say you're sorry. All right, I know you're not going to. All right, Punk.
Who should say sorry? CM Punk?
Punk should say, "Listen, I want to go back to WWE." But him and Triple H they on a personal note, they just do not get along.
I don't think he wants to go back to WWE.
Yeah, or just go to Ring of Honor, New Japan, one of those two. We just want to see you wrestle again. Well, I do anyway.
I don't think he wants to wrestle again. He wants to do this UFC stuff, and it's obviously working out for him.
I say you should have put him against Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger signed up with an MMA, and he's like, where is his contract?
He's with Bellator, though.
Oh, Bellator, okay.
That's with another whole other company.
Yeah.
Did you hear about this guy, Rude Boy Riley?
What did he do?
He got arrested for kiddie porn.
Oh, my God.
He's an indie wrestler.
You're out.
He apparently they found on his phone, I think they said about 10 pictures of people that were under 16 or something like that. So yeah, in all fairness, his name was Rude Boy.
Rude Boy.
I mean, that's pretty rude. No,
it is. Kidding. It is.
It's
a '90s term too.
I don't understand,
dude.
Where this kind of
dark fascination that these people have. I don't
understand where it comes from. I don't understand.
Were they touched as a child and were they molested or something, and that's why they do this?
Is there a way to
undo this?
Is there a way to find this out before anyone gets hurt?
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know
how this works. It's really hard because I think I don't know. I can't relate to this at all. But honestly, these for lack of a better word, perverts.
Degenerates, perverts.
It's just what they're into.
Pure evil.
And,
yeah.
I really don't think I honestly don't think that if they could help it, they'd still do it. You know what I mean? I think they're just sick in the head, and I don't know. There's a little part of me that feels bad for the guy just because he's perverted, and it's not necessarily his fault, but it is what it is, and he knew what he was doing was wrong, and
he did it anyway.
There's got to be places he could have gone for help, right?
There's
that means that's probably the key to resolving this is opening up like hotlines or centers for these people to go to get help and say, look, I have these thoughts and wants. You need to get me away from this before I hurt somebody. Or something like that. There needs to be a place. I don't know. There could be. I don't know.
It's most of these people who were repressed as a child or just a young adult, and then people are like, oh, that's wrong. You don't think that way. No, that's taboo.
Well, I got news for these people. With the way that Homeland Security is and the FBI, you're gonna get found out.
Yeah.
They're gonna catch up to you if you're into that stuff. So
cut it out.
So I like to talk something about Roman Reigns. A little Roman Reigns news.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear?
I heard about the so-called mix-up.
Yes, this is. If this is true, this is the funniest thing.
Yes.
Like probably ever. If for those of you who may not remember Luther Reigns, aka the greatest wrestler of all time.
Yes, Luther Reigns, who's retired, by the way.
He's well, that's mean to call him retarded.
No, retired.
I'm just kidding. He supposedly this whole Roman Reigns has been in the news for alleged steroid use, but
yes,
what people are thinking is, wouldn't this be great if this was like a great Vince McMahon cover up, and that this is like, oh, you got the wrong Reigns. It's actually Luther. So the speculation is that Luther Reigns, which would be really weird if this is the reason, was the one who was actually ordering steroids from the person who was just busted.
Yeah.
And that I guess the FBI or whoever was investigating this, saw the name Reigns on there. They just assumed it was Roman Reigns. It's really weird, and it sounds unlikely because
the FBI are not lazy.
I doubt Luther Reigns, whose real name is Matt Weiss.
Yeah.
I don't know how you pronounce it, Matt Wise or Matt Weiss. I doubt he'd still be going by the name Luther Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of weird. Anyway, that's where they say it's been a whole big mix-up and that they got the wrong Reigns. I don't know if I buy this because it seems like a very convenient excuse, but it's like a kayfabe news.
That's what it's
article.
turned into. Yes.
It's pretty hilarious.
Jeez.
So there's a couple of news stories we missed out on. I wanted to touch on really fast.
Mm-hmm.
Not touch in a Rude Boy Riley way, but
please don't ever
touch on in a
ever
in a news way. The greatest Royal Rumble was announced.
Oh yeah.
The great. It's weird that they're calling it the greatest Royal Rumble because I don't know I don't even know where to begin. What's wrong with that name? But the greatest Royal Rumble.
50, right?
Yeah, they'll have they just can't call it a battle royal. They have to call it like the greatest Royal Rumble. Why not just be the greatest?
Because some sheik, royal? Some oil sheik, in Saudi Arabia is paying for it. That's why. So they got to make it called the greatest.
Yeah, it's they're gonna have to find 50 superstars, but that'll be interesting.
And I heard Vince is trying to get Chris Jericho to get in this too.
Yeah,
I think it's a waste of time, to be honest, and a waste of money. But if they do show it, I hope it's a live event.
They must have seen something.
Yeah.
Where they saw that the Royal Rumble match did really great, and was it the Emirates, the Saudi Arabia, or wherever this is?
Mm-hmm.
So it must have been it must be doing very well over there.
Must be.
So who knows? That's one of those wait to see what comes next moments.
Yeah.
That's where it's at. News story we missed out last week because, there are some things that just, we go through a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of stuff to talk about in wrestling. The David Richards, Eddie Edwards incident on TNA with the baseball bat. Did you see this?
No, I haven't.
So they basically messed up a spot, and it may have cost David. Who's David? Is it Eddie Edwards? Eddie Edwards is the Wolf, right?
I have no idea, man.
And Impact. I think he was in I think they were the Wolves in
Wolves?
Ring of Honor, but I remember the Wolves in Ring of Honor. But anyway, I think they might both be the Wolves. I don't know. They were having this match, and the guy gets out, and you can look this up later on YouTube.
Okay.
He gets out a folding chair, but it wasn't like a real folding chair. It was like a cheap, like rinky-dink folding chair. And the guy puts it over like his rib cage. The spot is he was trying to injure the guy's ribs, right?
Yeah.
So he tries to put the folding chair over the guy's ribs, and it doesn't really quite go on, so he has to kind of hold it in place. And the idea was he was going to take a baseball bat, a real baseball bat, and he smacks the chair.
Yeah,
right?
the chair takes the impact.
And then it's supposed to go, the chair was supposed, that from the impact from the baseball bat hitting the chair was supposed to go into his ribs, right?
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
the
yeah.
plant spot.
That was his playing spot.
Have you ever hit like a baseball bat against a smooth surface?
Yes.
What happens?
Impact.
No, it slides off.
Yes.
So he hits the edge of the chair. It slid off and hit the guy in the eye. And I think it broke his orbital socket.
Oh my God.
It could have easily have killed him. It could have blinded him.
So he truly
ended
can't
his
see John
career.
Cena.
The guy tried to sell it. He tried to sell like, just because it's because he remembered kayfabe.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a dumb spot to begin with. They shouldn't have done it. And look it up on YouTube later.
Oh,
Eddie
I will.
Edwards and David Richards.
Still not as big as Psycho Sid's leg being broken off the top rope.
That'll be the greatest of all time.
That's the greatest.
They can try,
They can try.
but they'll never top that.
Never.
All right, Seth, you're gonna try to go for it again.
Okay, here we go.
Let's see if you can. Let me get my phone set up.
Get your phone set up.
See if you can.
Ladies and gentlemen, witness history once
See
again.
if you can recap Raw tonight in 5 minutes. Here, I got my phone. All right, starting.
You should have like a counter.
Yeah, I got. That's what I got right
I mean, like underneath
I know, but I'm gonna. You'll watch.
Okay.
Just do your job, and I'll do mine. Okay.
Okay, here we go.
All right, ready and go.
For Raw is war in Detroit, Michigan. It was the third month of the 12th day of 2018, sorry. Tonight, Raw was the opening segment. Kurt Angle talks about how proud he was to wrestle this year's WrestleMania with his tag team partner, Ronda Rousey, and Triple H against Stephanie McMahon Helmsley. But unfortunately, Kurt Angle had to address the WWE Universe, saying Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman are not in tonight. So Roman Reigns shows up and is pissed off, and it just got real when he called out Vince McMahon, saying Brock Lesnar is Vince's boy, pretty much, and he can't get in trouble for anything. And now he calls out Vince McMahon live backstage. After that, back to commercial break. Roman Reigns rushes out of Vince McMahon's office. Then Vince McMahon gets in on a spot interview with Renee Young, saying that he needs that the talent needs to know that. God, I can't even talk right now because I'm so not wasting time. He needs to know the talent who is Roman Reigns. The talent who is Roman Reigns needs to know, like his cousin The Rock would always say, "Shut your role and know your shut your mouth and know your role." Brock Lesnar is not my boy. He's not Paul Heyman's boy. He's his own man. So, yes, he has privileges. And for now, since there is a lack of respect, Vince McMahon has now suspended Roman Reigns. So, in other words, Brock Lesnar will be there next week, but no Roman Reigns. Next opening bout. We have Sasha Banks versus Bayley versus Absolution member Sonya Deville. Sasha Banks wins with a bank statement. But after that, Absolution goes in and destroys Sasha Banks with no Bayley to save. Next, we find out Kid Rock is inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. I call him a POS.
My name is Kid.
Yeah, white trash inbred. As they cut back to the audience, there's like two guys who do not look impressed, and they're just like clapping, like what the fuck. Anyway, we commercial break. We find out Miz is in the ring. Miz has a TV segment. His two guests are Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. The Miz tries to fire up Rollins and Balor, and they both have a double team on the Miz and throw him out of the ring. And then Seth Rollins sucker punches Finn Balor before the segment ends. Back to commercial break. We have an impromptu match between the two. Finn Balor wins. Then after that, we have a tag team. Next is the Bar enters the ring, introduced by the introduction, and then the Miztourage shows up and jumps them from behind, and then every tag team on the roster shows up and then destroys them. Next segment we have is John Cena, and he pretty much calls out The Undertaker. After that, we have Cesaro and Sheamus want to go to SmackDown, but Kurt Angle says, no, I'm not trading you to SmackDown, so we're going to have a tag team battle royale to see who's the number one contender to wrestle you guys at WrestleMania for the tag team championships for Raw. Next, we have an Elias segment. He's got a neck brace, but he can't sing, so he just walks home. Next, we have Braun Strowman has a backstage promo that he doesn't have a match at WrestleMania, so he's going to clear a path of destruction on his road to WrestleMania, and someone will be getting these hands. Finn Balor, they go one-on-one. Next, we find out Fabulous Moolah going to have a battle royale in her name. After that, we have a next segment of Asuka doing an interview. Alexa Bliss is kind of pretty much being racist. But then we have a new heel turn, Mickey James. Why we don't know. Asuka and Mickey James has an impromptu match. Then after that, it's over with. Asuka wins. Nia Jax versus Joan King, jobber, squash match. It's over. Then we have a GTV segment, apparently. Mickey James and Alexa Bliss are pretty much making fun of Nia Jax, the way she looks, the way she talks, how big everything. Nia Jax finds out. She hears about this and she goes She-Hulk. Most importantly, she has turned face now. So most likely we're going to see them at WrestleMania. Next, we have an awesome promo behind the scenes at the Hardy compound. Next, Bray Wyatt is having a promo, not making sense as always, like yours truly. Next, we have, and then so next week they decide we're having the ultimate deletion match. Main event, Battle Royale. Everyone shows up, including Cesaro and Sheamus for guest commentary. But Braun Strowman shows up. He destroys everybody, and he becomes the winner of the tag team battle royale for the championship on Raw against Cesaro and Sheamus at WrestleMania.
You did it. He did it, ladies and gentlemen. The clock's still going.
There you go. Now, how much time do I have?
Well, you had about a minute. Well, you had about, I don't know, 50 seconds left to go.
50 seconds.
You did good.
Thank you very much.
No one thought you could do it, including me, but you did it.
You never have faith in me.
You were able to recap Raw within 5 minutes. So it's tough. It's a 3-hour show. I mean, what do you want?
I want good matches.
We're
going
to
to
let
storyline.
Seth take a breather. And we're going to do our favorite segment is, of course, the tweet spot.
Absolutely.
For those of you who don't know what the tweet spot is, the tweet spot is where we take a look at our favorite tweets that were broadcast during tonight's Raw. If you'd like to be on the tweet spot, just use the hashtag Raw. And I tell you what, if you use the hashtag Ringside Review, you'll definitely get on. But if you'd like to be on, use the hashtag Raw and type something. Usually you have to type something funny. Mm-hmm. If you type something funny, then you'll get on what do I do? The tweet spot. Yes,
the tweet spot.
So that's tonight. So in honor of St. Patrick's Day in a few days, we're going to be doing the song used in Triple H's famous comeback.
I hate you.
Video segment. So hopefully I'll turn the mics back on when we come back from this.
Yes.
All right, and we're back.
Okay.
That was some of our favorite tweets of the night.
That was not bad.
Our
not
patented
bad at all.
tweet spot. Seth,
Yo.
Let's talk about what happened on this day.
On this day, I see it clearly.
All right. On this day in professional wrestling, let's talk about it. On this day in professional wrestling, 35 years ago, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Jay Youngblood defeated Sergeant Slaughter and Don Kernodle. I've never heard of Don Kernodle before.
No, I haven't either.
For the NWA Tag Team titles.
Oh, wow.
Also on this show, Ric Flair battled Greg the Hammer Valentine to a draw for a 1 hour time limit draw for the NWA Heavyweight title, which of course Flair was famous for back in the day, doing these 1 hour time limit draws.
Which means he wins.
I mean, you think about today where, wrestlers, if they go over 30 minutes, it's like incredible. But back in the day, Ric Flair was doing
was the norm.
1 hour. He was doing Iron Man matches every night.
Every time.
That's really fun.
Watch the 30 by 30. He talks about those. Those are actually really good.
25 years ago, Jimmy the Murderer Snuka, Jimmy Superfly Snuka,
So
defeated Glenn Osborne in a tournament final for the ECW TV Championship. For those of you who forget, Jimmy Snuka was an ECW.
Yes, he was.
It's very weird to think he was way past his prime at that point. Not the same wrestler, but it's just funny. And then a few years after that, 18 years ago, ECW presented Living Dangerously, which had yet again another tournament to crown a new TV championship. This time it was won by Super Crazy when he defeated Rhino in the finals. This show, Living Dangerously, was famous for the Danbury Fall, which, do you remember the Danbury Fall?
Danbury Fall. Is that when they go...
This was what ended New Jack's career when he and Vic Grimes had
yeah,
that
and
big
he just
fall.
jumped. Yeah.
And they landed really weird. They were supposed to land on a table, and they landed just on the concrete.
On the concrete slab of the gymnasium.
Vic Grimes landed on New Jack's head. I didn't realize this. He's blind in one eye now because of that.
Yeah.
And he had nerve damage. And I was watching one of these podcast or whatever, and apparently he got insurance right before then, so he's still getting payments for that. So he's making his living off of the insurance.
New Jack is.
So
Yeah, well, it still doesn't give him the excuse.
Smart enough to get insurance.
Hey, it still doesn't give him the excuse to try to kill a 17-year-old kid by the name.
That we'll go over the mass transit incident.
Yes, one day, mass transit.
I don't think we have time today, but we'll go over it.
Having a whole episode to New Jack.
16 years ago, Maven defeated Al Snow for the hardcore title match. It's funny. It just seems like on every one of these, on this day in history, it's a hardcore title exchange because the hardcore title changed.
It was
so
a 24/7 rule.
On that show, also Undertaker defeated David Flair in the main event of that SmackDown. Probably David Flair's biggest moment.
Oh,
main
wow.
eventing SmackDown with
I
Undertaker.
forgot about that.
This was their build up to their Ric Flair and Undertaker WrestleMania.
That
match.
WrestleMania.
12 years ago, TNA presented Destination X. This was the TNA debut of Scott Steiner.
You big face
which introduced us to such lines of "He's fat."
He's
and
fat.
Scott Steiner math, which we're all very thankful for.
Remember, guys, he owns his own Shoney's in Georgia.
Yeah, we're gonna have to visit. Oh, that'd be like a good road trip one of these days.
That would be, wouldn't it?
If the WWE ever has another WrestleMania like Atlanta or something,
Or somewhere near Florida. We have to go.
We'll have to check that out.
Yes.
Just an excuse to go to Disney World, just to drive through Georgia, just to go to the Shoney's.
We want to see
owned
Scott
by
Steiner.
Scott Steiner. Also on that show, Christopher Daniels defeated Samoa Joe and AJ Styles for the X title. We just need to do a retrospective one of these days. Not only on the mass transit incident, but also on just Christopher Daniels, his career. He's like, there were some big names that came out of the class. I think was it UWF or whatever it was that John Cena was in, along with Samoa Joe, where they were both training. And Christopher Daniels was the other big name out there. And just Christopher Daniels was the one that never made it big in WWE.
Never did.
Well, it's probably not too late for him, but he's got to be up there. Yeah, Christopher Daniels, fantastic wrestler. Just for whatever reason, I don't know. He just was never interested. I guess I don't know.
It happened.
Somebody wasn't interested in somebody. I don't know. I don't get it.
Probably didn't have any career, but he was great in the ring. That's why.
Yeah. 11 years ago on Raw, the team of Shawn Michaels and John Cena squashed 3 tag teams in a row. So if you thought they were making the tag team division look bad tonight, you should be back. It's like at WrestleMania. It's like the tag teams are there to help build up a singles guy, which is bullshit. Because I don't care how big or how powerful one man is. You shouldn't. There's two men against you. You know, you should be able to overpower the guy. You should be able to team.
There were some big guys, and yeah, they just.
But anyway, 11 years ago, Cena and Michaels squashed 3 tag teams in a row. 6 years ago, Brodus Clay. Speaking of squash, Brodus Clay squashed future WWE champion Jinder Mahal in 30 seconds.
Wow. And look at you now, Brutus Clay.
Yeah.
Where are you at?
Brutus Clay. 2 years ago, WWE presented Roadblock. This was a weird pay-per-view because this was announced just a couple of weeks before the pay-per-view aired.
Yep.
It was originally supposed to be a house show that they converted into a pay-per-view, I guess because they were wanting to build up Triple H's dominance more. I don't know what it was.
But it was Triple H versus Dean Ambrose. And for a split second, it looked like Dean Ambrose was going to win this.
It was going to go on to main event against Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Which probably wouldn't have been that bad.
I would have preferred that.
Looking
back on it, I would prefer that.
Yeah. Also in this was I guess you'd have to say this was the official debut of Enzo and Cass on WWE television.
Mm-hmm.
Where I didn't realize this because I realized now looking back, I was looking at the card. I didn't watch this pay-per-view. I realize this now because these matches sound so funny to me. Brock Lesnar defeated who are now the Bludgeon Brothers, Rowan and Harper, in a handicap match.
Oh, wow.
This must have been an impromptu thing because I don't understand.
I think it was.
He defeated them. Like I said, squashing tag teams is a way to build up a guy on the way to WrestleMania.
Yep.
Also, the NXT tag titles were defended. Revival, the champions, successfully defended against Enzo and Cass. It's weird. I think was this the first time an NXT title was defended on
a pay-per-view
on WWE television,
and
as opposed to NXT.
Didn't Roadblock eventually become? Yeah, Roadblock eventually became.
They had
Fastlane.
Roadblock again at the end of the year, end of the line. It was the stupidest thing.
Oh yeah,
there were 2 Roadblocks that year. I guess Vince was like, "I love the name Roadblock.
Roadblock.
Let's use it.
Let's use it."
Roadblock made sense the first time because it was blocking the road to WrestleMania. The next time it was blocking the road to the end of the year. The Royal Rumble. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's weird. So yeah, I didn't watch that pay-per-view. And we got some birthdays to celebrate, of course. They've talked about it all day today. Mae Young, what I believe would have been 93 today.
Mm-hmm.
She, of course, lives on through her son, the Hand. In all fairness, I'm not giving her a hand. No. In all fairness to Mae Young, she always seemed like a good sport, and she was taking bumps that guys my age couldn't take.
Yeah, you're right.
So good for her. But the hand thing, there's been a few times, just a couple of times really, that I've ever really turned off my television while watching WWE, and her giving birth to the Hand was just.
Wait a minute. No, you said Fabulous Moolah, right? That was Mae Young.
That's who we're talking about.
Yeah.
Mae Young. It's Mae Young's birthday.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't even see this or hear about this. They were just talking about Fabulous Moolah and in tradition to her. I'm sorry. My apologies.
We've been talking about Mae. So anyway, Mae Young gave birth to a Hand. And
yes,
I was just insulted as a viewer. That was the payoff to the whole Mark Henry story.
Are you saying it because it was Mark Henry was the dad?
No, I'm saying because they had built up this storyline that Mae Young had become pregnant by Mark Henry. This was the payoff, was that it was just a rubber glove. Mm-hmm. They had done a spot with the rubber glove like a few months earlier, and I don't remember what it was, and I'll never be able to find it. But there was a spot they used a blown up rubber glove.
Yeah.
Because apparently, I guess Vince thinks that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Rubber glove blown up. I don't know. It's just...
And remember,
it's maddening.
Wasn't there an anniversary show or something where the hand is grown up now?
Yeah, and that was almost just as bad. You know, it's like I don't know. To me, I just take it personally.
Well, like you
it's
said,
like an FU to wrestling fans.
As you said, it's just like if you're gonna.
I don't
know. The difference between the two, like the plane of like reality and fantasy, like wrestling.
Yeah, so we got so that's out of the way now. Now we're going to do what we do best. We're going to crown something or someone the greatest something or someone.
Because it is canon after we say it.
It is. It really is. And this one's going to be kind of a tough one. We're going to crown the greatest Irish-born wrestler of all time. Now, I'm going to go on to the Wikipedia page real quick.
Okay.
Because I have something I'd like to share with you. If you go to Wikipedia, right? If you do actually a Google search for Irish-born wrestlers, you'll come across this on Wikipedia. It is the list of Irish-born wrestlers, Irish-born professional wrestlers. Let's go through female-born.
There's
first.
only 2.
No, let's go through female-born first.
All right.
You ready? All right. Here we go. Becky Lynch.
Of course.
Okay, now that's the end of the list. That's it. Just Becky Lynch. She's the only female
wrestler?
Irish-born wrestler that they have in this list. This is Becky Lynch.
Wow. Well,
There's got to be a lot more, but
I guess, yeah.
So yeah, that's.
Is that just for the WWE list? Is that includes a list like from?
No, this is just wrestlers in general, just pro wrestlers. Is Becky Lynch. So yeah.
Even the UK
so now we're gonna go.
circuit.
We're gonna go to the male
All
Irish
right,
wrestlers.
let's do it, but I don't believe that.
There are at the Wikipedia page. I'm not making this up. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wrestlers. I'm just gonna name them all real quick in alphabetical order. I've never heard of this guy, Bingo Balance.
Okay.
Balance, I don't know. Finn Balor.
Of course.
Our boy Finn. That's a little picture of Finn, just so people aren't confused as to who we're talking about. It's Finn Balor. Pat Barrett. Steve Casey. Jordan Devlin. Dano O'Mahony, which is the most Irish name I've ever heard in my life.
Dano O'Mahony.
Dano O'Mahony.
Oh, Danny O'Mahony. Right here.
Mad Dog O'Malley.
I've heard of Mad Dog O'Malley.
Oh, really?
Yes, I have.
Interesting. Mad Dog O'Malley. Adam Maxted. And our boy Sheamus. So that's it. That's all they have is Irish-born wrestlers, which is really weird to me that out of all the wrestlers are. Anyway, you want to go to Northern Ireland real quick?
Let's go to Northern Ireland.
There's a couple from there. There's, of course, Fit Finlay. That's made the list. And, let's see. I have to get on this page. Killian Dane. I forgot about Killian Dane. Yes.
I didn't know Killian Dane. I knew it was from Ireland.
Frank Hoy.
Okay.
I don't know, and Tucker.
there you go.
Those are, and we'll include Northern Ireland on this list.
Of course, yeah, you better.
We, of course, aren't including Hornswoggle. Sorry, Hornswoggle.
You're not.
We're not including Ken Shamrock. We're not including all the wrestlers that have Irish blood in them.
Unfortunately. Otherwise, we'd be on there.
We were debating earlier whether Hulk Hogan is Irish or not, because it's an Irish name, but I believe Balea is Italian, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was half, but something like that.
I don't know, something like that. So there we go. Let's just, comparing Fit Finlay, although we like Fit, he was a real badass.
He was a hoss.
He was a tough guy.
He was a tough SOB. He was a hoss.
I gotta say, he's not gonna win this one.
No,
he has a nice Celtic knot on his tights.
Yes.
All right. So Becky Lynch, maybe
she'll be the queen of Ireland.
It's hard to say where she ranks as far. By the way, she's beautiful. It's absolutely stunning.
She is. I'm going to go with Prince Devon. I'm going to go with Macy. I'm going to go with Finn Balor.
Well, I would agree with you. Finn is the great. He's a better in-ring performer than. I don't even know about that. He's more likable than Sheamus.
That's
give you
true.
That. He's more likable than Sheamus. He has a lot more. He has most charisma. Possibly any wrestler that's wrestling today, Irish or not.
He's so over right now. He's had more wins. He has more championships around the world than just in the WWE, where Sheamus was just
Here's the thing about Sheamus. He's a Grand Slam champion.
Yes.
WWE champion.
And one promotion.
World heavyweight champion. U.S. champion.
Yes.
Tag team champion. Was he Intercontinental Champion? I don't think he was.
I don't think he was.
I don't really remember.
I don't remember. But that was only in one promotion.
You look at all the King of the Ring winner, Royal Rumble winner.
Mm-hmm.
He's done it all. He's current tag team champion. When a few years ago, when Cena was on top, he was the number 2 babyface. You know,
he was the Cena of SmackDown. Yeah,
he was the Irish Cena.
Mm-hmm.
For a big guy, he moves around like a cat. As much as I like Finn Balor, Sheamus, because look, Finn could go on to become a Grand Slam champion.
Yes,
he could go on. First Universal champion, very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
But he'll always be the second Irishman to do these things.
Yes,
whereas Sheamus was first. He's accomplished so much. Has a great moveset. You know, he's a believable tough guy. It's really close between Balor and Sheamus, and this may change down the line, but let me put it to you like this.
Okay.
As of March 13th, 2018, I'm going to say Sheamus is the greatest Irish-born wrestler of all time. However, in a few years, that might change. So he's the greatest of all times as of today.
As of today,
we
will go with Sheamus.
Okay, we'll go with Sheamus.
You made your case.
I think just
because Finn is still young.
Finn Balor's well, he's not that young. He's in his late 30s, but
true. But
he still has time.
He still has time. The only thing that I hold Finn more is he had more championships in different promotions, while Sheamus only did in one promotion. But as you said, Sheamus, and this is what's won the argument. Sheamus has won every one of them.
I think because Sheamus did it first.
Yeah, but Sheamus did it first.
Sheamus did it first. He won the WWE Championship
So Sheamus,
first.
Congratulations. You are the king. Again.
You should have that shitty King of the Ring outfit.
Oh, gear. Oh, man, yeah.
It just did not look good.
It
was good for a heel heat, I guess. But
yes. So Sheamus, congratulations. You are the winner.
Good job, tiny Sheamus. Sheamus,
what do you think?
Do you have anything to say? All right, we're already 5 minutes over. Seth, would you like to plug your podcast real quick?
Yes, I have a podcast that's on Blog Talk Radio, and it's on Totally Driven. It's called The Best Little Horror Podcast in Texas, where me and my missus talk about grindhouse films from the 70s and 80s and so on. Last week we did Creep Show. Most likely we'll probably do the sequel. If not, we'll think of something right then and there. Who knows? But find us on Best Little Horror Podcast in Texas.
Creep Show, was that the one with Ted Danson?
Yeah, Ted Danson, yeah.
Where
Wentworth, I have the gun. Wentworth.
He gets his head buried, or gets his body buried in the sand.
Yes,
he's like watching it on TV.
Yes.
That was kind of ahead of its time.
It was.
That's like some Saw stuff.
It is, yes, yes. I still like The Crate with Hal Holbrook.
I kind of get those confused with Tales from the Crypt.
Creep Show. Creep Show was the good one. Was the better one. It had Stephen King in it. So.
Yeah. All right, so that does it. You can catch us next Monday, 11 o'clock Central Time in the PM. We'll be back with another Michael McBride show with Mike McBride this Wednesday, 11 o'clock. Yes, what's up?
One last thing. Is it official? We will be doing a special for WrestleMania?
Oh, yeah. WrestleMania night, we will be broadcasting live a special Sunday show immediately following WrestleMania. Heck, we even may watch it here in the studio. We're kind of working the kinks out a little bit there. It'd be kind of cool. I don't think anybody would be interested to see us live stream WrestleMania, us watching it. I don't know if anybody would be interested. That it would be memorable. Who knows? We might just have it going, just to have it going, in case you get really... Look, as a favor to everyone who doesn't have a friend out there, we'll probably just have it going. It's like we won't even make an attempt to really... be entertaining and talk. We'll just watch WrestleMania. But if you want to watch us watch WrestleMania,
reactions. They do that with other podcasts.
I don't think we can have sound though. That's where they'll get us. They'll cut us off. Like that's what they were doing with the McGregor Mayweather fight.
Mayweather fight. They did that. Yeah.
You couldn't do the audio but you could do like the video. But anyway, we wouldn't be doing that. We'd just be watching it. You can see our reaction to what's going on. If you don't have any friends, which I mean, honestly.
If you're watching the show, that means you don't have any friends.
If you're a wrestling fan, no, I'm just kidding.
Hey, we're lucky. We're both married. Not to each other, but we have wives, so we're not lonely.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Have a nice night.